Minasan konnichiwa. O genki desu ka? Hi guys, my name is Lisa. Welcome to my channel. And if you're new here, hajimemashite, Lisa desu. In today's video, I'm going to discuss a practice worksheet that I've prepared for you guys so that you can test your knowledge about JLPT N5 level. So if you are actually trying to prepare for this test, or if you are just a beginner and want to test your knowledge in Japanese, this worksheet can be really useful to you. I've already uploaded 2 such more worksheets already, so you can check it out first if you want. And in this video, I will first be discussing the questions with you, and the rest I will be explaining to you their answers. So you will not be left with any confusions, and if you still have some confusion, you can let me know that in the comment box. Okay, this worksheet involves mostly basic grammar as it is the level 1 worksheet. I've not made it difficult purposely. Slowly as I progress with the worksheets further videos, I'll try to increase the difficulty level. Okay, let's start with the question number 1, which tests your vocabulary. How do you say these in Japanese? So, if you want to enhance your vocabulary, you can check out my vocabulary playlist where I've completed 100 Japanese vocabulary words, basic words that you should know. Mostly, my vocabulary included here are not going to be so difficult as I am new in uploading vocabulary video. Soon I'll be making a playlist for vocabularies separately as they are really important. So, the number 1 is I've written it in English and I want you to tell its Japanese translation. For example, free of charge. Free of charge. What do you call this in Japanese? Number 2 is tasks or things to do. Number 3 is money. How do you say money in Japanese? Number 4 is ticket. Ticket. Number 5 is noisy. Noisy. How do you say noisy in Japanese? Number 7, I guess, is shop. How do you say shop in Japanese? 8 is likeable. Likeable. Remember that some words which are verb in English actually are adjective in Japanese. In this case of like, this rule applies. Like is actually a verb in English, to like, but in Japanese it becomes an adjective, and so I wrote it likeable and not simply like. Okay, this is where beginners actually tend to make mistakes. So you actually conjugate like, which is ski, in a way that it's a verb, but it's not a verb, it's an adjective. Okay, I hope you're getting what I mean to say. Next is, how do you say these in Japanese? Boyfriend and girlfriend respectively. Okay, question number 2 is extremely basic grammar. You just need to know these 2 verbs correctly. I have already uploaded a video on arimasu or imasu. Where do we use these verbs? Both of these verbs are actually the verbs of existence. That means it is equal to be. To be. Minasan, I'm sorry if you find some dullness in my voice this time because I think I'm getting more and more symptomatic day by day, and I'm not feeling a little weird this time, but I still thought that I should actually upload a JLPT video because I actually promised you that back that I'll be uploading one, but then I got busy with these vocabulary videos and I really couldn't upload it, so your request is my command. So yeah, this is it. Just sorry, I hope that you can ignore my dullness this time. Okay, so you just have to fill in the blanks with arimasu or imasu. Imasu and arimasu both means to be. It shows the existence or to have. So, what is the difference and why we have 2 words for the same meaning? You can check out my previous video if you want. Otherwise, I'll be shortly explaining you so that you don't have to really waste your time. Arimasu is to be, but it's only exceptionally for non-living beings and things that cannot move. Imasu also means to be, but it's only for things that can move and living things. For example, if I say tree, which one will you use for tree, arimasu or imasu? Tree is a living being, but it cannot move, so you're going to use arimasu and not imasu. Okay, here is a tricky question. What do you use for a ghost? Ghost is a living being or not? And can ghosts move or not? Well, this is somewhere you need to know a little bit about Japanese mythology. we as Japanese treat ghosts to be living beings. I mean, they are souls that can move, and that is why we use imasu and not arimasu for them. So ghost is obake, and if you want to say there is a ghost, you say asoke ni obake ga imasu and not arimasu. Okay, so I hope you understood what is imasu and what is arimasu. Well, if you did, here is the question where you have to fill in the blank with arimasu or imasu. Yoji ga blank. Yoji means things or tasks to do. In that case, it's a non-living being, and definitely word cannot move, so you have to put it with. Let me know in the comment box. Kareshi ga blank. He is definitely a living being, so number 3, jikan ga blank. Jikan means time. Okane ga blank. Okane ga blank. Kanojo ga blank. Okyaku-sama ga blank. Okyaku-sama is guest. O and sama both are words which show up politeness, so you can say that Japanese treat guests extremely polite. And that is why we say okyaku-sama and not simply kyaku. Okay? Okay. Number 3. This question actually involves your knowledge about particles. I have a playlist for particles where I have uploaded videos upon ni, de, o, to, every particle mostly, which is confusion creating. I have also explained the uses and I have given short tricks to remember them. I will still be explaining you particles in short over here, but for detailed explanation, you can refer to those videos. Okay, let us go for the first question. I'll explain you the question over here. While explaining the answers, I'll try to emphasize on particles. Omise blank, onna blank, hito blank, imasu. Beginners, you can refer to the romaji if you have not started learning hiragana yet. I have provided the romaji also. I right now do not have any way to make this PDF public. Soon in the future, if this channel grows, I'll try to make a way where I can share this PDF with you people for free. So, omise blank, onna blank, hito blank, imasu. What the sentence basically means, if I translate it to English, it is, there is a woman in the shop. So, women is onna no hito, right? It's a word. You have to remember this term, definitely. And she is a living being, she can move, she has 2 legs, and that is why I'm using imasu and not arimasu. She is at a place called omise, which is shop. So definitely, the place is marked with a certain particle that I've already explained you. I'll be emphasizing more while explaining the answers, so stay tuned till the end of this video. And one more thing, if you haven't shared this channel with your friends or family members or anybody you know who is also trying to learn Japanese, a beginner, please do consider sharing my channel to reach every beginner out there if you find this useful. Okay, and do not forget to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and also press the bell icon. Well then, the question number 2 says, Eki blank, toire blank, arimasu. Eki is the station, toire is the restroom or the toilet, arimasu is to be. Toire is a non-living being and I'm using arimasu in that case since toilets cannot move on their own, right? So, eki is the place where toilet is existing and the place of existence is marked with a specific particle. Okay, number 3 is koko blank, chiketto blank, arimasu. Chiketto, as you must have understood from the pronunciation itself, it means ticket. We have actually adapted this word from the English words. So since it's a foreign word coming from overseas, we use this word written in katakana rather than using hiragana. Okay, so koko blank, chiketto blank, arimasu. It's a non-living thing and I'm using arimasu, which means to be. So this sentence says, there is a ticket. So here is a ticket. Koko means here. So the place where the ticket is existing is marked with again a specific particle. Koko blank, onna no hito. Oh, I said the answer. Sorry. koku blank, onna blank, hito blank imasu. Do not get panic for now. When I'll be explaining you the answers, I'm sure you'll be getting this pretty easily. This is just a piece of cake once you understand the function of particles. So please refer to my videos if you still have confusions for particles, and if you think particles are extremely difficult, I'm sure this perspective of yours is gonna change once you keep watching those videos. Question number 4 is about translating English sentences into Japanese. I've given English sentences which involve the vocabulary that is the same throughout this workshop. So I have not included too much of extreme vocabulary that you have to search here and there. It involves only few words that you should know. As I said, this is a level 1 worksheet, okay? So there is a man over there. There is a man over there. To frame Japanese sentences, it's extremely basic and important to know the Japanese sentence order. If you do not know the Japanese sentence order, please consider checking my video on Japanese word order, which will really enable you to make your own Japanese sentences when you know vocabulary. Otherwise, what basically happens is you can understand what Japanese people say, but you can't really speak Japanese. This is because you lack the sentence order structure. Okay. Number 2, there is a cockroach in the toilet. You already know how to say toilet. It's toire. What about cockroach? The most creepiest creature on this world that I hate the most. It's called gokiburi in Japanese. I hate them. I literally hate them. Well, question number 3 is there's a customer in the shop. Shop. You remember I said there's a woman in the shop? But how do you say shop in Japanese? It's omise. Omise. There is a customer, and as I said, customer is okyaku-sama. O and sama are just for politeness. The same O is also observed in omise, right? So I hope you can frame the sentence. I'm using there's everywhere. There is asoko. Asoko. And it is the place where the person, the cockroach, the customer, the toilet, the women, everybody is existing. So the place of existence is marked with the particle ni. Remember this, while translating the English sentences into Japanese, you have to be extremely careful about the particles, because the particles can change the meaning of a sentence completely. Just a simple sentence like, I eat fish, can become the fish eats me if you do not follow the sentence order and the particles. So, number 3, there is a customer in the shop. It's time, right? Number 4, there's a toilet inside the station. There's a toilet inside the station. Station is eki, toilet is toire. You've already introduced to these words a bunch of times, so I need not explain it again and again to you. There's a woman in the shop. There's a woman in the shop. Okay, there is a dog here. I looked them. There's a dog here. So here is koko. Koko is where the dog is existing. It's the place of existence for the dog. So remember to mark the place of existence with the particle ni always. So koko will be marked with the particle ni, right? Okay, I don't have a boyfriend. I don't. So how do you say this in Japanese? You need to know the Japanese vocabulary. It's kareshi, kareshi. I do not have money. I don't have money, whatever. Money is okane, okane. I don't have time. Jikan, time is jikan. I don't have is repeated again and again, so that if you know a single sentence out of these 3, you can actually form the rest of the 2 sentences easily. Well then, so how was this test? Do you think it was difficult? Well, if you're done with the questions, let's just check your answers and see if you could do this. Okay, the question number 1 was to test your Japanese vocabulary, which was, how do you say this in Japanese? Number 1 is free of charge. It's called muryo in Japanese. Remember to stretch the last O. Number 2 was tasks or things to do. This is called as yoji in Japanese. Number 3 was money, and money is okane, okane. Jikan is time. Ticket, as I already told, was chiketto. It's written in katakana because this is not a Japanese origin word. This is a word which we have adapted from the English language. To your surprise, around 20% of the Japanese words are from English words, and we usually write them in katakana. And that's why it's important to know katakana if you're using English words very frequently while writing in Japanese. Noisy is urusai. It's an adjective. And as you see e at the end, it's obvious that it's going to be the e adjective. Okay. Sharp is omise. Omise. Likeable. As I said, it's an adjective and not a verb. It's ski. And since it's a na adjective, I'm writing na inside the bracket just so that you can remember it's a na adjective. But while usually writing this or while speaking this na is generally omitted, right? Boyfriend is kareshi. Girlfriend, kanojo. Kare and kano respectively mean he and she, so make sure you use them properly. Question number 2 was about arimasu and imasu, and I think this was the most easiest question in this entire worksheet. Yoji ga arimasu. Since it's a no living being, it cannot move, I'm using arimasu. Kareshi ga imasu. Definitely he can move, so I'm using imasu. Jikan ga arimasu. You have time. You have time, and time is something that cannot move. I mean, time flies, right? It was a pun. I'm sorry. So, 時間があります. Time is a non-living being. It cannot move. And that is why I use あります. お金があります. Okane is money. And since it's a non-living being, I use あります. 彼女がいます. 彼女 is a living being. And I use います. お客様がいます. I again use います because customer is a living being. Okay. Question number 3, let's go to it without any delay. It's about particles. Particles are something that beginners really fear a lot, and I want you to get rid of this particle fear. Particles really they are not so difficult if you understand their usage correctly. It will take you at least I think an hour to understand particles. That's more than enough. And I think even less than an hour. And few hours of practice and polishing your knowledge. That's it. I can bet that particles will become a piece of cake for you guys. Okay. お店 blank 女の人 blank います. Let me make you understand each particle's position over here. I said there is a woman in the shop. There is a woman in the